jump in right now. You ready? Whoosh. Welcome to the Tuesday show, everybody. It's us. It's Cammy and Jacob. How you doing, Cammy?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. What about you?
I'm doing great. We just got some fresh news hot off the press. I guess we'll start with that. It's not really news. It's a guy who puts up a thing of nominees. It's the Game Awards. Very prestigious. So, you know, where I guess we'll talk about some of those. Some good news for it. Some people were complaining. Returnal got snubbed pretty hard. But again, as we've both said dozens of times, I probably more angrily than you. If your game isn't nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, doesn't make it a bad game. It could make the people stupid, doesn't matter. You can think whatever you think. If you think Returnal's the best game of the year, more power to you. I was shocked at first. We can talk about the Game of the Year nominations. I guess we should go over those first. I'll take one, you take one. We'll switch off. We'll go in order. First up.
Okay, I hope we're reading from the same article then.
We could be. We'll see. First I have Deathloop.
I have Deathloop first as well.
Okay, good. Maybe we're on the right path. What's number 2 then?
Okay. It Takes Two.
All right, yeah, we got on the same path. It Takes Two, okay, Metroid Dread.
Psychonauts 2.
Yeah, it is. Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart.
And Resi 8.
I love these nominations. I was shocked at first to see EA's logo, and then I remembered, EA doesn't actually really have anything to do with that studio.
No.
They kind of just let them do their thing. And I think they don't give them like great budgets and stuff. I don't know the whole deal with it, but I think EA's bad. But thank God for Hazelight, however the fuck you say it, Studios. It Takes Two is really cool. I love all these nominations across the board. I know some people might be upset with no Returnal, but Resident Evil Village, I feel like is a good one. I really enjoyed that game. That game I felt like had a broader appeal. Ratchet and Clank was just cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Metroid Dread's a return to form. Psychonauts 2 is just polished out the wazoo. There's so much there. Deathloop, same thing, polished like crazy. It's a perfect little vacuum. And then It Takes Two is just so unique. I like all of these nominations a lot. And I could see, honestly, probably those top 4 being the most likely. Ratchet and Clank and Resident Evil Village, I think, are a little bit less likely. But Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, and Psychonauts 2, I think, are all upper echelon for sure.
I haven't played all of these. I've watched people play Village a ton. I have played Rift Apart. I have played It Takes Two. I have played but not finished Deathloop. Haven't played Metroid Dread or Psychonauts 2 yet. So just preface this with that. I think It Takes Two should win. I don't know if it will. And I think if Deathloop wins, people are going to be pissed. Because a lot of people don't vibe with that game. I certainly don't think it's a 10 out of 10. I don't think it's Game of the Year. I'm fine with it being nominated, but I don't think it's Game of the Year.
I adore it. I think it's really great. Of course, I think Psychonauts 2 should win it. I think Circumstances, with that being like a Kickstarted game picked up by Microsoft and then coming through as good as it was, as big and having all these amazing set pieces. It's just such a great game. It Takes Two, I feel like, is an easy pick for it for a lot of people because it really is just like, it's a nice, tight little story. It's got unique gameplay and whatnot. I don't think, like, grand scheme of things, of course, it's something we always talk about with, like, because I'm a big fan of, like, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, those types of games. Yeah. It kind of turns into apples and oranges when you look at some of this stuff, because Deathloop's 3D semi-open world, semi-linear game. It Takes Two is a platformer, a co-op platformer. Psychonauts 2 is a single-player platformer that's story-driven. They're just such different games, and that's why I hate game award shows. I don't like this one that much either. It's just because it's like, if you enjoy It Takes Two, It Takes Two I enjoyed less so than Psychonauts 2 and Deathloop and even Metroid Dread. But I'm not the voice of the people No one is with
Carry
this
on.
stuff. That's the thing.
Cat meowing.
Oh, go for it.
Come on,
I
baby.
don't know. I won't dwell on it too long. But if I had to pick my game of the year, because I've played, I don't think I've actually played Rift Apart yet. I think I've just
Oh.
seen it played. I must have played at least a little bit of it. On Luke's PS5.
That's brilliant. I don't think it's as good as some of the others on that list, but I'm happy it's nominated, definitely.
Yeah, it gets a good nod. I don't know. Psychonauts 2 for me, It Takes Two is a wonderful little product as well. Thumbs up. I guess what else is there really to talk about? Deathloop was, I think, the most nominated game.
Yeah,
It had 8
I think.
nominations. Psychonauts 2 had 5, so let's not get too crazy here. It wasn't that far behind.
Yeah. God, you are being so vocal. I don't know if you can hear her. She has strong opinions.
Yeah, she's screaming about it. I don't know if there's any. I guess best game of the year, of course, is the big one. Best performance, I guess we can talk about.
Yes.
Because there's so many fucking. There's so many dumb fucking categories in all this. Anyways, best performance. We'll touch on that one and then we can move on from the Game Awards because I don't really want to go through all these. We have Erica Mori as Alec Chen in Life is Strange: Two Colors. What I've seen of that game, I must say, I've looked into that game because I want to give fair shakes. I don't want to be that asshole that's like, fuck that because it's a concept I don't like. What I've seen so far looks like shit. Next up, it looks like artsy, pretentious bullshit. And I've heard, we'll see.
A lot of people say it's like really incredible and one of their games of the year. Like people whose opinions I, kind of value.
And that's A-okay. That's A-okay. So, I
don't know. I haven't played it, so.
I'm going to give it a try. I'll definitely give it a try one of these days. And maybe I'll do a video on the channel for it. But I got to get through those first games first. Because I really have to... I don't know. I played one of those... I played that House of Ashes game this year for Halloween. And that was a wonderful little fun time. It's just Life is Strange makes things so stupidly heavy. I will say, though, this lady's performance that I've seen so far, it's not half bad. It's probably one of the better things about it. So fair enough. Next up, probably guaranteed the guy that's going to win it because it's the Game Awards. Yeah, it's Gus Fring. And I think, honestly, Jeff Keighley or whatever his name is just wants an excuse to meet him. Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Costello, however the fuck you say it, in Far Cry 6. He's, okay. Have you played Far Cry 6?
No.
Okay.
But feel free to spoil stuff because it's not high up on my
so I have not played it. My understanding is it's less so a Johnny Silverhand situation and more so a who's a good example? What's that? Oh, I can't even remember his name. He was in a bunch of like bad B movies. It's it's your cash grab guy. That's kind of his role. He's the guy it's Nicolas Cage in most of his movies nowadays, where it only sells because you see Nicolas Cage, but Nicolas Cage doesn't really do all that much in the movie. It's like James Doohan. Do you know who James Doohan is?
No, I might recognize his face though. He
was Star Trek Scotty back in the day, and he did some garbage projects after that. I don't know how many, but a lot of the time they featured him in like a chair, just kind of hanging out. I can't remember the other guy's name, the really famous one.
We know what you mean, though.
Yeah, just that's the situation. Anyways, we can move on. We got a double nomination. We'll just go over both of these. Jason E. Kelly as Colt, and I don't know how to say it. I'll let you take the wheel.
Ozima?
Ozima Akaga.
Juliana.
They're both. They got great banter. They play off each other great.
Yeah, they're good. I'm happy with seeing them there. And then Maggie Robertson is Big Booba Lady D.
Big Booba Lubu. Big Booba, what was it? Booba Babalubu, whatever we said before. I don't know. All of everything I've seen of all of these people in all their roles, they all did a fantastic job. So that I'm fine with all of those. Even the Life is Strange one, even though I'm not a huge fan of those games. The character Alex seems to be just fine. If I had to pick a winner from any of those, of course, Giancarlo Esposito, because as I've already stated, Jeff Keighley tends to do things. I don't want to be mean to him.
Should we leave it there then?
Yeah, we'll leave it there because he could be the nicest guy. I haven't met him. I don't want to like rail on a guy. I'll rail on companies and whatnot for their dumb decisions, but not an individual guy. My brother just stopped playing Battlefield 2042. I think that sound from the Uplay thing or whatever it's called is going to come through. Thought I'd explain that. Cammy didn't hear it, which is why she's confused. But you at home did, unless I found a way to edit it out. In which case, you're really confused now.
Ooh.
Anyways.
Any more you want to go over?
Not really. Games for Impact, Life is Strange True Colors is on there, and then a bunch of games I've never fucking heard of. It seems
Games
like
for Impact is so stupid.
It's the dumbest thing.
Surely you don't know until like
wait a minute.
A good few years in advance.
Wait a minute. Best community support. Apex Legends is on that list. No fucking way best community support. I've had a horrible time trying to get stuff fixed in that, like trying to play that game. I had a thing, I was playing around this morning while I ate breakfast. I was getting ready to write and I was just like, I'll jump in. My matchmaking time was like, I think it said 600,000 hours. It was like severely broken. And I've had like the better end of the stuff compared to other people I've talked to. I don't know. Maybe they're nice. Role-playing game, best role-playing, Cyberpunk 2077 was nominated. That's not a joke.
No,
that's a real thing they did.
They've been nominated for best soundtrack as well. Which, to be fair, I think the soundtrack of that game's pretty good.
Not as good as Psychonauts 2.
I haven't played Psychonauts 2. I'm sorry.
Was it nominated? It wasn't nominated.
I'm really sorry.
That's fine. I do like Cyberpunk's music quite a bit.
Yeah, so that's fine. But putting it in best role playing,
that's stupid. Of course we have content creator of the year, also an incredibly stupid one. We have Dream, Fussly, Galls, Ibai, and the Grefg. That's the dumbest thing I've ever said. That's the worst thing I've ever said in my entire life. That string of names. They could all be the nicest people on the planet.
Best esports game, best esports athlete, best esports team, best esports coach, best esports event.
I didn't watch any esports this year. Oh, that's a good lead-in, I guess. Esports. We can move on from the Game Awards. I like Psychonauts 2. Kami likes It Takes Two. People are mad about Returnal. That's the moral of
basically,
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of esports, there's an esports game called League of Legends. Don't play it. It's a toxic, horrible environment, and it's a game that has it's an okay learning curve. I don't know a whole bunch about it. All I know is that the one time I tried to play it, I got called various things for trying to play the game, and that's a story you'll hear across the board. I was looking into it because a new show came out called Arcane, and it's based upon the League of Legends universe. Have you seen this show yet?
No, but I have heard about it. I've seen it crop up.
It is so fucking good. I watched the entire thing yesterday. It is... I can't even... okay. It's like you took... Because this is just me. This is just my experience with it. You take Dishonored and you mix it with like the like feeling and aesthetics of the Dark Crystal. It's got like that good of world building. And you put those together. And then you have that fantastic art style Fortiche. I forget how to say, some French studio. They did a Gorillaz music video. I have a Gorillaz album up on my wall.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
It's fantastic. It's genuinely fantastic. I recommend everyone checks that out. The next 3 episodes come out on the 20th, so 3 days from the release date of this video. I'm actually like I'm stoked. I'm super excited to see how it goes. It's one of the best things I've seen in a while.
Well, good.
Yeah. That being said, if you've watched the show and you're thinking maybe I should give League of Legends a try, don't do it. Don't. It's not worth it. It's this is their way of giving you the good from that horrible thing. They made this show, and it's clear and obvious that their good is like Cammy, I'm not exaggerating. I have one issue with the 6 episodes I saw, and it was I wasn't crazy about music choice that they did, but they were stylized scenes, so I can overlook it. I have no other problems with the entire show.
Well, damn.
It's that good. We'll see how the next 3 episodes fare, but right now, holy crap, Lois. Cammy, would you change your name to Lois so I can say holy crap, Lois?
No, I quite like my name, but I can add a middle name if you want.
Okay. Because then I can be Peter, and you can say Peter, and I could say whatever I said before, Lois. Holy crap, Lois. I can do that. It's me, the family guy. And it's me, the family guy. Well, I just ranted about Arcane. That got me going. I think everyone... I was surprised you didn't watch it. I thought you would have checked it out.
Honestly, I haven't been watching much TV recently. I don't remember the last time I sat down and actually watched a TV show. I've been binge watching YouTube videos, Twitch, sleeping, listening to music. I haven't really been sat down in front of the TV much.
Oh, fair enough. So, yeah, I kind of set because I have work and stuff. I went back to work this week. So I just and I've been waking up ever since I got out of COVID. I'm waking up at 7 and 8 now, which does not happen normally. I have a healthy sleep schedule now. Who'd have thunk it?
Good.
But yeah, I just yesterday morning I got done a bunch of stuff the day before, and so my sister's husband Quincy was like, "Hey, you need to check out this show. I want to hear your thoughts on it. I think it's incredible." I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." He was right. Literally watched the whole thing yesterday, just went through it. And now I am in hot anticipation. And speaking of hot anticipation, there's a certain fella up on my wall here. His name is Tyler. It's Tyler, the creator. He's a pretty neat guy. One of my favorites, if not my favorite artist right now. Probably my favorite artist right now, if not one of my favorite artists of all time. Point is, I thought he was not coming within 300 miles of me. I think I brought this up a couple of weeks ago. I found out today he is doing a show very close to me, close enough to where I can actually go this March. And I am so when I saw it, because the only reason I saw it was Spotify wasn't working this morning while I was writing. And I was like, screw it, I'll just use YouTube. I don't like YouTube music that much, but I did. And I had ticket listings. It was like, there's a show near you. And I was like, it shouldn't know where I am. Maybe it's screwing up. But it's true. There is a show near me. And my eyes lit up. I went outside to get my mail, and I had a spring in my step. I was skipping. I'm so excited. I'm a happy boy today.
Happy boy.
Not just because Psychonauts got nominated for 5 superficial, unimportant awards by a crazy person, but also because I saw a TV show I liked, and one of my favorite musicians is coming to my town.
You're having a very good week. I'll be honest. Sorry if the last couple of minutes I've seemed like my attention is split. Amy, Amzy Cat, friend of channel, has just started streaming. And it's the game that I have forced her to play. She's playing Nier Automata.
Oh.
Cannot wait, because Detroit Become Human is one of her favorite games. And I'm like, it's Detroit Become Human, but better.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Detroit Become Human recently. It sucks.
I like it, but it's a guilty pleasure
Yeah, well, it's those types of games. It's just it's always going to be the same with me. I got into it because I really like the concept. All the performances are great, but it really is I don't.
Graphics are great.
Yeah.
But I like played Detroit. I thought, oh, that was really interesting. I really liked the concept and everything. And then I played Nier Automata straight after, and I was like, wow, it's Detroit, but a million times better with the whole like androids, humans, life, what does it all mean thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like kind of split. I'm also kind of split because I I don't think Amy will mind me saying this. She's not very good when it comes to reading things on a game. She's the sort of person who, like, when a big tutorial thing comes up, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll work it out." Nier Automata isn't that kind of game. Like, you need to sort of pay attention to what's going on. So I'm like, do I need to give her advice yet? Attention
Let
span.
her simmer a
Let
tad.
her suffer.
We've tortured poor Amy too much these past few weeks. I
No,
was
we haven't.
we
It's
could we
fine.
could be doing more. I will say we could be doing more to torture her, but
We
we'll
could.
hold off. Um, yeah, well, good stuff across the board this week. I feel like we're moving into the Christmas season. It's right around the corner there. I noticed. Oh, for you wondering out there, I've been talking about a game for a good bit. A game that I just kind of picked up on a whim and really enjoyed called A Short Hike. I talked about
Yeah.
it a good couple of times. I saw on some gaming publication this morning. It's coming to console. It's coming to Xbox and
It is.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
So
I've seen it on the coming soon for a bit, and I'm like,
yeah, I just learned that, and I think everyone should give it a try. I really enjoyed it. It's a little, I think it's from like 2019. Uh,
yeah,
but I think everyone should give it a try. It's a lovely little game that puts a smile on my face.
yeah. I if we're doing game recommendations, I mentioned it on Saturday, but I just finished it again. Like I've played it through twice now, and that's Unpacking.
Oh,
I cannot.
nice.
It's so good. It's like soothing puzzle type game, pixel art. Like the art style is great. Um, and like I've had my eye on it for a while because like I find puzzle games like that sort of quite relaxing. But what I wasn't expecting is for the story to be quite so good. Like there isn't a defined story, but you go through this girl's life of unpacking every time she moves house. So obviously you see her go from like her first bedroom to like her bedroom at uni and then her first place and how moving in like with different people and then the after effects. It's really good.
It's neat.
It's neat. It's
I,
neat.
I
It's
I've
nice.
I haven't given it a try yet. I don't know why, because I think it's on Game Pass. Maybe I
It
just.
is, yeah.
Oh,
It is.
I did install. I talked about it just a little bit earlier with the apples and oranges thing I always talk about, because I
Mm-hmm.
always bring up one certain game. It's Ori, the Ori series, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever beat Ori and the Blind Forest because I booted
Cute.
it up to play it again, and
Mm-hmm.
I got to a part and it either completely fell out of my memory or I just never beat it. But I'm having a lovely time with that game, and I think it's wonderful. I really do. That and Hollow Knight. Gotta get on that. There's supposed to be some Hollow Knight DLC coming. I don't know. I don't look into it that much. And Cuphead DLC.
I don't know.
I'm patiently waiting for that stuff. It's like you just want a little bit more. Just a
Yeah,
little, just a
kind of
tad.
are.
There's a Cuphead
I need to
TV show
dive into
coming.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, I
Need to
think you'd
jump
probably
into it.
like Hollow Knight. You might like Ori and the Will of the Wisps or just the Ori series better, I think.
Mm.
Because Hollow
I
Knight's really good, but Ori is just like I don't know, I think you might like the art style a tad more.
okay. I'll give anything a go. Beware of flashing ghosts.
Beware of flashing. That's just a real thing you have to do, people.
Just beware in general, to be
Just
honest.
beware, beware in general.
Mm.
I guess do you want to talk about do you was Spider Man? There was a Spider Man thing that happened.
You mean the new poster and the trailer coming out later
The
today?
really great poster that looks like a 8th grader's Photoshop job. The really fantastic Marvel is fucking slacking off.
Marvel posters haven't been good, maybe ever.
They just, I mean, like, they go for that. I forget his name.
The Marvel aren't great. They go for that. The guy who used to do the old Star Wars.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Of character collage.
Like, yeah, it's like all the characters all smashed on one big poster, and then with lots of like shapes and colors.
Just a big thing. You can stare at it for a while and see all these different things. They went for that for a bit, but that's the thing. Capturing that, doing that right, it's like doing minimalism right. Every company at this point is trying to do minimalism because they think, oh, it's less work. When in reality, you can screw up minimalism. Google screwed up minimalism. It's possible. There's it's art. It takes effort and work. You can't just cut corners and say it's minimalistic. It's like, no, it's lazy. It's not minimalistic just because you didn't do as much. I feel like that's the exact same boat with Marvel. I think they're just like, no, it's in this style, and it's like, well, sure, you tried at that style, but it just seems like they're putting less and less effort into it. Like I saw that I asked my sister about it. That Loki logo, I get what they were. Bad. Yeah, I get what they were going for, but it looks like trash. It looks like garbage. Yeah. And keep in mind, this is coming from a very talented artist in Cami, and a person that does some we've seen your art before, Cami. It's no secret now. It's in the open. You are horrifyingly talented. Horrifyingly. It scares the shit out of me. And I do I'll do little graphic design stuff, and I love looking at the stuff and reading about it. So you're getting two sides of the coin there. The way that they present it, it's slowly but surely getting more and more lazy. It felt like before they were trying to sell it to you, and now they've reached the point where they don't have to sell it to you anymore, so they're just not trying.
One sec, I'm just gonna have to turn my heater off because I came in this room and it was freezing, and now I'm sweating my tits off.
That's why I'm hunched over like this, because my tits are gone. It is so hot in my room. This is the stupid thing. If you wake up early and you're working on your computer, this is the dumbest thing. Because I woke up early, I was like, I'm gonna get a start on stuff. I was writing out videos. I was editing stuff. That gets your room incredibly hot, which is just so. As I'm like typing, I'm doing my thing, and it's a goddamn sauna by like noon, and it's like an actual kind of warm day out today.
What I was going to say is Marvel's trailers are ridiculously touch and go as well.
Yeah.
Like, they have one or two trailers that were really good. The trailer, I think it was the first trailer for Age of Ultron, with that creepy version of No Strings on Me from Pinocchio.
Yeah.
That was good. Recently, I can't remember the last time they put out a trailer that was like good, because they don't try anymore. This is coming from a Marvel fan. Like, I am a big Marvel fan.
Oh, I'm definitely a big time Marvel fan too. But I'm like a comic side of things too. So I was over the moon with it. Keep in mind, over the fucking moon with it up until Endgame. Then I took a break from it. I was like, what would it be like if I was outside and I looked at all this other stuff? And I'm still having a fun time with that. I haven't really jumped back in. But what I've seen when I jump back in is just the same old formulaic, really basic. And when I learned, I don't know if we talked about it on the Tuesday show, but oh no, I got in an argument at work about it. They make my job is the best that I can argue about this stuff. It's supposed to be like borderline manual labor, and I'm like arguing about Aquaman being bad. And what Marvel does, what happens is they'll basically design a fight scene, get started on the CGI for a fight scene before the script is even done, or before they even really know about it. That's their first idea, is getting those really cool fight scenes, which
isn't great.
Part of me is like, it's stupid. it's anti-creativity almost for the writers, because you think about it, you're writing this big interesting story and they go, no, well, we're supposed to fight the CGI rhino that scene. We can't have a monologue from the villain explaining like a very important plot point. Let's just have him say he's filled with hate. And that's what it becomes. It becomes these really boring, bland characters. And it's shocking too when you get outside of it, which is why for all these diehard Marvel fans, I'll try to recommend some stuff to my friends and be like, you should check this stuff out, because it's not to say that there's good Marvel movies, but there are things outside of this superhero fandom that are incredibly interesting and have fantastic character development and these great moments. And the people are just ignoring them because they're not within that cinematic universe. They don't care. I know someone who every night,
Ooh.
I know one person, and this one person every night, I'm not kidding, watches a Marvel movie. That's how they unwind from work. They've been doing it for the last 5 or 6 months. They watch a Marvel movie because Disney Plus made them all available. And they're like going through it again. They're like going through them again, which I'm guilty of doing with Breaking Bad and stuff. And I'll rewatch Breaking Bad. I tried to start rewatching BoJack Horseman, but I was just like, if I'm watching something animated, I want it to be new so I can talk about it on my channel, so I can do different stuff with it. It's just, I have a stupid moron brain that doesn't let me enjoy things all the time. But the point is, it's fine to rewatch things, but you have to give yourself room to experience new things. Like I would have never given that show Arcane a shot if my sister's husband Quincy didn't text me about it. I was like curious about it, but I was like, you know what? I know something I'm familiar with. If I didn't give that show a shot, I would not be in as good of a mood as I am today. I would not be as excited as I am today. New things fucking slap is the moral of today's episode. So try new things.
Because I took a break from Marvel after Endgame, because I was like, so many of the original setup is gone, and I just wanted to like step away from it for a bit. And I think if when I went back into it, it was more of the same, I wouldn't have been happy. But because I returned with WandaVision, which I stand by as being like an excellent original show, and it's super, super clever. If you know about the history of TV, how TV shows have evolved, how they were made, how they are made, if you can identify all these classic programs and stuff, WandaVision is great. It is so interesting how it's made and how they use the tropes to their advantage, yada, yada, yada. But I think if I'd have gone back and it would have been more of the same, I would have been put off. It's only because WandaVision was so like different that I stayed engaged for it. But that being said, I barely ever return to Marvel films. Ever.
Yeah. Okay. I heard someone...
Like, I hold them in my heart fondly, but there are very few that I go back to. And honestly, I don't think I've watched an old Marvel film after Endgame. I don't think I've gone back to one. I've just been looking at new stuff. So I like hold that period in my heart, but I don't actively return to it. I just look at new stuff.
That's fair. I think you should move on to new stuff. It's fine to, pick favorites and go back to those. That's A-okay. But if you're sitting down at night and you're going through chronologically and you're like, okay, time to watch Thor: The Dark World, skip it. Thor: The Dark World is not great. When I'm rewatching Breaking Bad, I'll skip some of the first episodes, and I'll skip some of the ones that I feel like are I want to get through. There's stuff I want to see that I want to reminisce about. That's fine. It's fine to skip some of it. You've already seen it. You've been there, done that. I've had people. The only reason I bring up Thor: The Dark World is because I think that is like the titular, formulaic, boring, stupid, empty Marvel movie. Like
Yeah,
that's probably the worst one that I've seen. Captain Marvel, as much as people complain about that, at least it was a new character, at least it was a new setting. This was like all CG stupidness. It just sucked. And then, they come back with Ragnarok and it's fantastic.
Yeah, you don't even need to watch The Dark World, because in Ragnarok there's a play that summarizes the entirety of
it's like they knew no one would remember it because it was such a bad movie.
I like the idea of Taika Waititi just sitting back and going, right, the last one was shit, so we'll summarize it with Matt Damon and the other Hemsworth, and that will just save everyone like 2 hours of their time.
Yeah, which is genius. Taika Waititi is a
great guy.
Genius. I do really enjoy his stuff. I think he's fantastic. I'm excited to see
Jojo Rabbit is
that's a great movie.
Amazing.
It's wonderful.
Fantastic film.
And he's doing a Star Wars film next. Or not next. He's doing a Star Wars film at some point. And I'm skeptical still because that new Star Wars trilogy was really shaky.
It was bad. It was bad.
Well, that's the thing is like story wise, like I was like, oh my god, like it was horrifyingly appalling. But like Rian Johnson knows how to make things look good. He knows how to structure things. Like he made his version of Star Wars didn't feel like Star Wars, but it felt sort of like a movie. It was really stupid at times, but it looked beautiful. It had all these awesome set pieces. And J.J. Abrams is like that first one, like the soft reboot. That was like became the standard for soft reboots. So there's stuff to be enjoyed there, but not stuff to be enjoyed more than once. I feel like, which is the main key. Is like once
I watched 7. I watched 7 in the cinema. I heard 8 was awful, so I didn't watch it in the cinema. I watched it after the fact, and it was so bad that I was like, I didn't bother watching 9.
Oh, you have to watch 9 because the best thing I've ever heard about the 9th Star Wars movie, because I think I'm in the minority that kind of enjoyed the 8th one. If you turn the sound off, the 8th movie is awesome.
Turn the sound off. Close one eye.
Oh no, Rian Johnson.
Then it's great.
Rian Johnson, who I called Rian Johnson for years because I'm an idiot. Rian Johnson makes movies look beautiful, and it's so beautiful.
Director.
And you can just take it in and be like, wow, it's like going to an art museum. But the best thing I ever heard about Star Wars Episode 9 came from the fellows over at Red Letter Media, Rich Evans. He said it was like a haunted house ride, like at an amusement park, but you just turn up the speed really high. So you don't really know what you're seeing, but you're like, oh, okay. But you're going so fast, your brain can't process if you're scared or not, or if you're enjoying it. But by the time you think about it, you're already on to the next scene. It's just fast-paced stupidity, basically. I think the 9th, is the worst. And then I think, I guess the 7th one would be the best. Probably. Of those 3. I think it just does kind of go downhill quality-wise.
I haven't seen Rogue One. Was there another one as well that came out?
There was the Solo story, which was...
Oh, yeah.
That's the one where they covered the backstory of his last name. Did you hear how he got his last name, Han Solo?
Let me guess. He works on his own.
Yep.
I'm a genius.
It's
Definitely hadn't heard that before. But...
You think of the stupidest thing, and you're like, they're not going to do that.
Yeah,
and then they did it.
Oh, they did it.
That was one thing too. Oh my god, Rogue One. I've heard people swear by Rogue One.
I've heard people say it's pretty good. Obviously, love The Mandalorian. That's fantastic. Cannot give that enough praise.
Mandalorian. From what I haven't finished The Mandalorian. I'm not all caught up because I kind of took a break from Disney stuff to do some other content. But Rogue One was fine. It wasn't great, but
It wasn't
people,
bad.
the thing is, you know what's going to happen, and it's a story. Star Wars fans really like stories that like they're like little references. They're borderline Star Trek fans where they take just like a tiny thing and then they're like, let's blow that up. Let's see how that works. Except, you know, Star Trek goes back way further with more content.
Yeah.
But Rogue One is like this story about something that you don't really care about, getting the Death Star plans. You don't really care. In the fourth movie, in A New Hope, they have the Death Star plans. It's like many Botham spies died. That's all you need to know to get those plans. It's like you don't need a whole movie to know, and you already know how that movie ends. And you know how the next movie ends, and you know how the next movie ends. So it's just this stupid thing they put in there. You don't need, it's not a necessary story. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Distracted. My cat is wagging her tail. I don't know if you keep hearing a clicking sound. She's wagging her tail against, I think, a cable, and then the cable is like hitting the desk.
Oh, I heard it a little bit right there. I don't think it was picking up too much.
Yeah. It's the cat. I'm sorry, I was just distracted. Yeah. Star Wars is really hit and miss.
It is.
That's the moral of the story.
And because it's hit or miss, doesn't make it bad, and it doesn't make us stupid. We're looking at you, angry people. Stop.
Yeah.
The angry people aren't watching anymore because we said...
Angry.
Because I said I liked parts of 8.
Oh yeah, they would have left instantly.
So it's over after that. People don't want to hear. They didn't make it to the part where I said you have to turn off the sound to enjoy the movie. And then some people left when they heard that because they loved 8. Because you can't just process someone's opinion about something that comes from Disney. You have to pick a majority side, or get out of the way. Get on out of there.
Basically, we're just talking to the void right now.
There's no one listening. That's the beautiful thing about these podcasts, and what a lot of people don't realize. It doesn't really click in your head until you start doing one. We're talking to each other, and what people put in the comment section, we read it, and a lot of people say a lot of nice things. Some people say some bad things. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change, you know, what we talked about in that episode. It's done. We shared our opinions. We've talked about it. It's over and done with. You saying like, I can't believe you're such an idiot. You're a fucking moron for not liking this. I can't believe you said that about this. I hate that. I hate this. Make a podcast yourself. Talk about your thoughts and whatnot, and then discuss them like that. And then then it'll click.
It reminds me of something Ricky Gervais said, and Ricky Gervais is one of these people that, like, I feel like you either love him or hate him.
Oh, I love Ricky
like
Gervais.
Him.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because, I kind of like him. I like a lot of what he does and a lot of what he says. And he said something, and I don't remember it exactly word for word, but he said something along the lines of, like, how stuck up must you be to think that you're going to be able to live your whole life and have not one person disagree with you.
Yeah.
It's not possible. Like, how self-centered, stuck up, arrogant do you have to be to think that 7 billion people are going to constantly agree with you? They're not. You're always going to upset someone. You're always going to disagree with someone. So you might as well just say what you believe in, because, like,
yeah,
you cannot please everyone. So
yeah. Oh, I forget. I heard something super interesting this week. It may have... Shit. It was either on the Super Mega Cast, or it was something I was listening to at work, or it was Joey Diaz's podcast. It was some podcast I was listening to while I was at work. And they were saying, like, of all the work you do, all the stuff you put in, you can make something that you see is perfect. It's you iron out all the wrinkles. Your comedic timing's wonderful. And there's a very good chance, I think he was talking about, like, your favorite thing that you've seen, your favorite comedian, your favorite movie. There's a chance, like, 60% of people hate that. 50% of people hate it. People, they think it's bad. They don't care. They haven't seen it. It doesn't matter to them. But that's why the whole point is, it just matters in your world. what you think of it.
Yeah.
And that's why you say what you think of it. And then when someone says, "Oh no, I thought it sucked," you say, "Okay." You can dig and you can talk about what you liked and what you didn't like, and that's what podcasts are. We talk about what we like and what we don't like, and people like to hear about that. But to take that and internalize it as an attack on this pure thing that can do no wrong, like Star Wars has a lot of the time, or Star Wars has it a lot of the time, and I think Avatar: The Last Airbender, you can't really. I have some complaints about that show that I'm going through, and people won't let me hear the end of it when I complain about it. Same with Marvel, and that's just the thing. You just have to. At the end of the day, it's about what you enjoy. So make stuff if you want to be funny, make stuff that makes you laugh, and that's really all there is to it.
That brings us right back to the beginning of why awards shows are pretty freaking stupid.
Yeah. It's the moral of the year. Just like what you like, and if someone gets mad, tell them to fuck off. It's so you're just as dumb. No, you know what? You're not just as dumb, because the people that get mad at it. I was gonna say you're just as dumb for being mad at them as it is dumb for them to be mad at you, but that's not true. It's not. You have to be. I forget who said it. Like Michael Jordan doesn't write YouTube comments, like the angry YouTube comments on Stover, telling you you're a stupid piece of garbage, because he's doing stuff. So do stuff. Get motivated. Well, we could end it on that. Get motivated.
I mean, get motivated. Is this really a good
Is this really a good motivational episode? I mean, we just kind of talked about Marvel, and is that an okay cap off for me to say the moral is motivation?
The moral is you like what you like.
Like what you like.
Okay.
I don't know.
The side to that moral is be motivated to make stuff that you like.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. The last like 10 minutes are a blur. It is so hot in my room. I'm physically.
I'm also very aware that you said I'm gonna have to. Episode has to be a bit of a shorter one, and so far we've been here an hour.
Oh, just about. Well, that's the thing.
I'm also very aware. I don't want us to be talking and then halfway through you get a phone call of someone being like, "Dude, where the fuck are you?"
I haven't gotten. I haven't gotten a message back from the person I'm supposed to get lunch with, so I don't know if I'm actually doing that today.
Well, how rude of them.
I think they might have just slept, or maybe they have some, or they could have thought it was next Tuesday. I don't know. I'll give them a fair shake. But yeah, we're into 1 o'clock now on this lovely Tuesday.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. That's right.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. in jolly old England.
Half an hour into Amy's stream. Yes, it is still on in the background, and so far she has died once. Very proud of her.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Go watch Amsley Cat on Twitch.
And me on Twitch.
And Cammy on Twitch. I don't do Twitch stuff too much.
I'm playing through Bloodborne, and it's been really fun actually. There's been a hell of a lot of people. Like me and Luke have talked about this before. It's just a small tangent, and then we really will cap off.
Well, we'll call it an even hour. We'll call it then. We'll give ourselves till then.
Okay, even hour. Luke and I were talking before about like how Twitch is weird because you can stream something that you think people are going to like and be really interested in, and they just won't be that bothered about it. And then you'll stream something that, I don't know, is really old, or you thought was niche, or you figured everyone knows about this, they're not going to be bothered. And it's really successful. And for me, that's been Bloodborne. Like, over any other game I've played, Bloodborne has been the game where if I'm streaming Bloodborne, I'm never getting less than 2 new followers a stream. I'm almost always getting a new sub, people dropping bits and stuff. And it's like I didn't expect that. I thought a lot of other games would be more popular than Bloodborne has been. Maybe I'm just naive about that. But it's interesting about like the games that just people click with. Like not not the games you'd expect them always to click with.
Yeah, that's really that's kind of always the way it goes. I feel like I think I've heard just about everyone I've ever enjoyed watching, every podcast I listen to. It's never what you think it is, and that's like it's infuriating because the amount of times like I've started on a project and I've been like, this is the one, this is the next big thing, this is what catapults me, and it hasn't done great, and then I like look back at a video that I did just on a whim about something stupid and it's at like 20,000 views, or it's doing really really well for my channel. It's just like you never know, and that's infuriating. And so you have to get to that.
It's hard to judge, but
yeah,
kind of it's a good feeling though when you do find something that people vibe with and enjoy you playing. Because I mean, I played like horror games for a month. People were not as bothered about me playing horror games as they were me playing Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You just never know.
Below Bloodborne, it was Days Gone. Days Gone is the only other one that I've had similar reception to. And Days Gone is not a game I thought people would be bothered about watching.
Days Gone is one I would have never thought of, but I was engrossed somewhat with your playthrough of Days Gone. We talked about it a good bit every once in a bit.
Yeah. So it's wild. I don't know. And then like what is successful for me won't be successful for someone else. Like again, I'm talking about Amy because she's my friend and you know, she does the whole Twitch thing with me quite a lot. Like for her, it's horror games. It is always like her playthrough of Resi. They're always the top for her. And same with any sort of decision-making games. Like for her, Detroit Become Human was a pretty big one. Like I don't think I would have that same reception. Crazy.
But see, that's the key. You never know till you try.
You never know till you try. Is that the note we're going to end this on?
Well, why not? That's a good note. We've had a bunch of good notes this episode. This has been a lovely episode.
Teaching people so much.
We lured people in with our cynicism and our concerns. Marvel. Yeah, like all this, and then we transformed it into something new and hopefully motivational to someone. You there that's working right now while listening to this, you can do it. Now you say one, and then we'll end the episode. Get them motivated, Cammy. What would you say? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this little exercise to end the episode, because I don't think I'm going down to Fort Collins today. We'll give myself a little bit of time. I am trying to work on something. What do you say to get me motivated? And then I'll try it with you.
Okay. Right. Heads up. I'm terrible at motivating myself. And whenever I try and motivate another person, I make it very specific to that person. Like I never have a general like, you can do it. It's always like very specific. So to you specifically, I would say you are so fucking talented. You don't know how talented you are. You're so young and you have achieved so much. Like you have an album out, you have your own YouTube channel, you have this going on, you edit for Luke, you work, you're at like college, that's incredible. Like you could do anything you put your mind to. You are so talented, and like I hope you know that. Like not only are you talented, but you're also a good person. So whatever you put your mind to, I totally believe that you can do it, and I'll support you 1000%.
Well, I'm pretty pumped up. Those are a lot of very nice things said about me. I was not expecting that.
There you go.
I was expecting you gotta go for it. You gotta do. I was expecting like basic stuff. No. Those were all lovely, lovely things. Thank you, Cammy. I am pumped up now. Shit.
There you go.
Well, fuck.
This is what I'm saying. I can never give like a general. Because for me, general like, oh, you can do it. You're great. That doesn't work for me because that little BoJack voice in my head says, no, you're a piece of shit. Like that doesn't work. It only works when those comments are very, very specific, because then I know the person means it, and they're not just like pulling these lines out of the top of their hat. Yeah. It's like a genuine I've listened to you and I know you and I believe in you type thing.
Yeah. That's a great way to motivate. I thought I was motivated before. I've been working all morning for like 5 hours leading up to this. And now I
Shit.
am. I've got fucking electricity
I
in
am
my body.
so pumped.
Now I'm
There
so
you
ready.
go. Maybe
I might go to
I
the
should
gym.
be a motivational speaker.
You could be. You single it out. You just go for it.
Yeah.
Like a serpent. We could call you Cammy the Snake.
Not sure if that's a compliment or don't people use snake as an insult?
I don't think so. Sometimes they go, "You snake," or it's, "Hey, that's the snake."
Slithery little snake. Danger noodle. That's what the internet calls it, right? Danger noodle.
I don't think anyone's called it that since like 2009.
Well, I'm calling it that.
Well,
Danger noodle.
Wait, I have to get you motivated before we end the episode, and then we have to motivate the audience.
Okay.
Okay. Let me get some water. My mouth is fucking drying out. I drink like 3
I'm nervous now.
Are you ready?
I'm nervous now. No.
Here's what I would say if I ever needed to motivate you. I would say you are working with me. We live thousands of miles away from each other.
We do. Half the world.
I know about what you did because you put it out there. And we were able to see it, and it was incredible. Everything you've put out that I've seen is incredible. Everything. Literally all of it. And so keep doing that. That's all the motivation you need, is to do what you're doing. Like, the fact that we're fucking working together now, like, and we have been for like a year, like the odds of that happening should be fucking impossible. But when you put stuff out there, you get it done, and that's that. So put your stuff out there, because I guarantee you people want to see it, and you're going to fucking knock their socks off. That's what I would say.
Well, shit.
It's true.
Yeah, but you're going to make me cry.
Well, that's how, and I feel like that's a thing for a lot of people, is you just have to put it out there. Because you never know till you know. Well, there you go.
I will be honest. I was like, tears welling up. So I have a big problem with like imposter syndrome and self-doubt. And what brought me back down to earth is, like I've said a million times, I have Amy's stream on the other monitor, and I just saw someone comment, "Sup, cunt." I was like, oh.
That does. You were getting me to tear up too. Yeah, you were getting me to tear up too. I was like, oh shit, this shouldn't be how that's working. Oh. That's the thing. If you once you get it figured out, once you get that connection, you find out really how to get each other going. It's fucking the sky's the limit. Yeah, we're gonna fucking take over the world.
If me and you like were in the same office, cancer would be cured.
Cancer would be cured.
Taking over Mars.
Yeah, we'd have moon
bases. Best friends with aliens. Cats would talk.
Cats would talk.
We would have come up with little monitors.
And they could cook for us like in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, now we need to work together to motivate the audience. For you working out, because finals week is coming up for college. I don't know what it's called in England, but like, you know, your end of the year tests are coming up.
In England, it's a bit different. We have like, I guess people are having mocks.
Okay.
So like it's a test people have at Christmas. It's like a practice run of the real tests they're going to have in Easter time. So people are having mocks. And like uni students will probably have Christmas deadlines and stuff.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, Christmas deadlines is probably about what we have. Because we do like buy some, I don't know how different it is. Point is, it's an important time. It's a time when people might need to get pumped up. It's around Christmas time. You're thinking about, we're going to do this. To get you motivated, of course, number one thing, taking one from that I gave to you. If there's something you think you want to do it. It's never been easier. Never.
Yeah.
Like if you want to make music, there's programs that are free. There's programs that cost $15 a month, which is stupid good quality that you can find. If you want to edit, there's free software everywhere. If you want to record, free software everywhere.
Things have never been more accessible than they are now.
Yeah. And
so if there's something you want to do, find a way to do it, because there will be a way out there. And if there isn't a way, make a way.
Yeah.
Be a trailblazer.
Be a trailblazer. The only thing that can stop you most of the time, because sometimes your parents don't want you doing stuff if you're younger. We get that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, maybe the old ball and chain is holding you. It's like, oh, we got to do this on Thursdays. The only thing that stops you in most cases is you, because at the end of the day, you think about, you want to do something. You're like, what if people don't like it? What if people attack me? It's like, keep in mind, people are going to do that no matter what.
Anyway,
the only thing that's stopping you is you thinking about that. So it always comes back to you, no matter what. You just have to do it. That's the key. Mm-hmm. If you want to do something, do it.
My motivation would be, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Everybody is capable of far more than they think they are. I say that from personal experience and from watching other people. Like, you think you can't do something, I guarantee you with enough time and effort you can. Even things that you think are impossible. Like, getting kind of personal, how many years ago? Maybe 8. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't do it. I would have a breakdown, I would panic, I would cry. I couldn't talk in front of another person that I knew. Like, I couldn't answer the register to my teacher. Like, we're on that level of bad mental health. And look at me now.
You're killing it.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but if I can do that, you can do that. With enough time and effort, if you want something badly enough, you can definitely do it.
You know what's crazy? I had the same thing when I was in middle school. So about 7 years ago too. Because I was homeschooled for a long time. I would get into conversations and my eyes would tear up. I didn't have any control of it. And I would start shiver. I couldn't fucking hold a conversation to save my life. And now we do this.
On the internet.
We talk on the internet. I do stand-up comedy in front of people. Like, you just gotta force yourself to do it. You gotta, if there's something you need.
Steps.
Yeah. If there's something you think you need, go get it.
If count your small victories as well. Today, I've been struggling getting out of bed recently. Not from a lazy point of view, but a anxious mental health point of view. And you take the little things. Like today, I didn't get up as early as I wanted, but I woke up earlier. And even though I laid in bed on my phone because I was nervous to get on with my day or whatever, it's a small victory.
Yeah.
Hey, you got up and showered and you've been struggling with that. That's a victory. You ate breakfast. That's a victory. Take baby steps, and then in a few months' time, those things you've been really struggling with will be second nature to you, and you'll look back and go, holy shit, look how far I've come. So anything is possible with enough time and effort. And our podcast.
You can't do anything without listening to the Tuesday show. You will be
on repeat.
You will be a failure if you do not fall asleep with the Tuesday show on. I forget who said it, but someone was like, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare and don't compete. Just do your thing. It was probably, now that I say it like that, it was probably a rapper I was listening to. Don't compare, don't compete, do your thing. I don't know who that's from.
A mediocre rapper.
Probably not that great.
Yeah. Well.
What a lovely note to end it on.
I know, it's gone from Game Awards to wholesome content.
It's great.
Aww.
Well, we'll see y'all later, everybody. Go get some. Do your thing. Woo. Other words that mean going to do stuff and be good at it.
If I can beat Father Gascoigne. His name, right?
I have no idea.
Bloodborne? Then you can do anything. I'm sure his name's Father Gascoigne. I was calling him Daddy G, so I've forgotten his actual name.
If you can beat Daddy G, you can do anything.
Mic drop.